All right, hello everybody. This is Grady Paulson. Welcome to the America Agency. Today we have on with us Miss Nicole Petrarca coming to us live and going to share with us how she has built her agency over the years. It got to $30,000 a month issue paid, and within months it got to $200,000 issue paid because she decided to not care what other people thought. She decided to jump on a marketing trend that's happening, if not pioneering her own marketing trend. And with that, got created some very fun videos, which we're going to dig in at the back half of this call, that have gone viral. And not just one. She didn't luck out with her kid, after a dentist appointment, who's kind of drooling on himself. And, if everyone saw that video with that little kid. But she's made many videos that have now gone viral, and she's going to break down how she does it. But within that has created mass exposure, which has introduced more and more people to looking at working in the life insurance industry. And I couldn't be prouder of what she's done. I couldn't be happier for her quick success. I couldn't be more excited for these new agents to come into our winning world and win with us. And just excited to connect with you and let everybody get to meet you and learn from you. So without further ado, drop an NP in the chat below. Show Nicole Petrarca some love. And then let's jump in. How are you doing, Nicole? Love if you jump in and kind of say hi and then tell us about you, your story, your background, etc. So
yeah, I'm super excited. Well, thank you for having me on here. I am beyond excited to be here. So just a little bit about me. I was a bartender for about 12 years before I got into the life insurance industry. I was that girl who would annoy Marissa nonstop saying yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And then one day I finally was like, okay, she's been doing this for 2 years. She has to be doing something, has to be going good, or she wouldn't still be doing this. So one day I was finally like, all right, I'm actually going to do this. And she was like, yeah, okay, sounds good. Pass your test and then give me a call, right? So finally I went in full, passed my test, reached out to her, let her know I passed my test. And then she was like, cool, brought me on. I've been here for almost 3 years now. I think 3 years will be September. But yeah, I was that person who watched for the longest time because I thought that there's no way that this type of money is being made, because I was that person who my parents didn't make that kind of money. Nobody that I knew made that type of money. So I was like, it's just not possible. So when I finally took a chance on myself, I started off part-time 3 months in. I think I wrote my first $20,000 in the month, and I was like, I'm good. I'm quitting bartending. This is good. This is real. I'm in it to win it now.
That's awesome. So 3 months in, it feels fun to break free, right? You identify as I served tables for 12 years. To make money for my wedding, I went and picked up serving shifts at Arizona Grand in order at the golf course to make extra money. It's all I knew how to do until someone goes, hey, there's this other world where you can do sales. And I was like, I'll go sell cars. I don't know, but insurance. So when you finally look in this world, you're like, this is pretty cool. Now you've got to learn some stuff. So, 3 months in, do you remember what leads you were running? Were you running in person? How did that all start?
Yeah, so I started in person. I started off with final expense, and it works for a lot of people, but just didn't work for my personality because I'm just very straightforward and don't do well with small talk. So I got moved to mortgage protection pretty quickly after trying that, and did that for a really long time. I started off in-home, and then that was kind of when things were really switching to telesales, which I was obviously happy about. And then started off telesales probably right in that 3 month mark. And then just stuck to mortgage protection for almost 2.5 years, and now transferred over to doing all IULs.
So did you come over in COVID?
Right after COVID, I think it was.
By that point we'd had kind of, we were fighting tooth and nail to stay in home. And then finally everyone's like, let's go virtual. And now we're 99.7% virtual, which is an incredibly, creates speed. So, okay. So you worked mortgage. Now, why did you leave mortgage and go to IULs?
Just because it was the up and coming thing, I felt like everyone who was taking their business to the next level was getting in that. And I am just one, I get bored kind of easily. So I'm like, I always want to learn the new thing that's going on. Right. So that's what I did and literally transferred everything over. I do mortgage protection here and there in between like my IULs because they sometimes take a little bit longer to issue. But for the most part, we're doing IULs now, very much so, just because it was the up and coming thing and we wanted to be a part of that.
So ballpark, what's your persistency now with IULs? Is it better?
Yeah, it's definitely better. My persistency with mortgage protection was probably 85%.
Awesome.
And then my persistency now with IULs, I would probably about 90 to 92% if I had to assume.
Not crazy, right? You hear all these stats about, when I hear that like the industry average is 70%, I'm like, what kind of jerk agents are out there not calling their clients back? Like, what are you, how hard are you overselling Betty that she's canceling it a third of the time?
100%, absolutely.
So I love that. I mean, that's industry, 92% is amazing. So let's talk now about what are you doing? Cause I want to get to the fun stuff, but it's always, I want to lift, because it's important to like, you can recruit a lot when you know what you're doing. Now you can recruit a lot all the time, but your confidence on this business came from you paying your dues, selling insurance. And then now you've got the confidence to go, hey, I know what to say. I'm going to teach you what to say. If you say what I say, you should get my results. I can't make guarantees. There's asterisks in the corners, but this is what I've done. So I love that. So I love always kind of laying the groundwork with you. So how are you, what's your schedule, leads? I mean, I know it's IULs. Are you generating your own? Are you buying from the ILC? Do you got a vendor? Like, what do you do to get all your clients? And then let's jump into some script stuff, because I want to hear how you describe them.
Cool. Yeah, so just going off of confidence, by the way, just really quick, I just want to hit on like when I first got in the industry, you guys, I did not have support, like from very minimal, right? So like going out of the bar, everyone's like, oh, we'll see you back in a couple months. Oh, we'll do this. My family even was like, I love them and they support me no matter what, but they were like, I don't know, it sounds kind of weird. Like we've never heard of that. Like, probably don't do that. And then now that I'm, successful, most of them are like, how do I join you? Right? Like my sister, she's probably on here, but she just joined us last week, and everyone from the bar is reaching out to me to get started. So don't worry about what other people are saying to you as far as bringing you down. Just put yourself around the people who are going to uplift you and bring you up and support you while you are starting your business. As far as leads go, I buy all of my leads. I actually hired Logan. He's the owner of like Zippo and Clever Closers. I hired him to generate leads for myself and some of my agency so that we can get them at cost. Agents who aren't really ready to do that yet are usually buying from like Agent CRM Center. The ILC are amazing. Everyone does so good on those leads when they're available. And I'm usually spending probably about $1,000 a week on leads. And usually in average with the leads that I'm buying from him or the ones that he's generating for me, usually average right around that $15 a mark per lead mark. So it's obviously great, right? Because I'm not spending extra money to buy them from a lead vendor. I'm just in charge of my own, which is great. So that's what I've been doing. But most of my agents starting out, they'll buy like the aged or the brand new IUL leads from ILC or Agent CRM Center.
Cool. And what do you use? We'll get to that in the back end, but I was like, what do new agents need to have available to buy before you bring them on?
When I do the interview, I usually tell them anywhere from $5,000 to $1,000 a week on leads. But then also let them know that my goal is to get them writing 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a month as quickly as possible. So
perfect. It's awesome. Okay. So basically all IUL leads now, do you run them to a CRM? Do you run them to a drip? What do you run them to or are you just, they come into an Excel sheet and you're just hand calling them? What's your process for that to kind of get them?
Yeah. So I use Lead Champ Pro. So most of my appointments are actually text appointments. I don't do too much of dialing the phone anymore, which is great when you're trying to build an agency so that you can manage your time a lot better. And then in my off time, that's when I'll dial through any leads who haven't responded to me. So I usually just do the drip text through LeadChamp Pro.
Isn't that crazy?
It's insane. And it's AI, so I don't even have to respond to book it half the time. I'm like, this is great.
Do you remember, I remember just sitting down and just, just dialing till I'm sweating, just literally so much dialing to get myself to the position where I'd have 8 appointments on Tuesday, 8 appointments on Wednesday, and then I'd take off in my Dockers and my Polo and go drive around for 400 miles. That's fun. It's awesome. So I love that this is where we are today, and people can choose to embrace it, or they can choose to, be like your buddies back at the bar that are like, yeah, it may work for her, not for me. And that's okay. It doesn't need to be for everybody, but that's okay. Okay. So I love that. You're generating leads, you're putting them to a CRM, you're working your appointments. Let's jump into what you say. So if it's a pre-booked appointment or you're maybe when you're dialing, like, how are you taking control? How are you clearing the calendar? How are you asserting, yourself as the person that's going to take over, just kind of from the beginning? Always love this part.
Okay. I'll go into a little bit of my script. So I always just start off the call with, Grady. Hey, Grady, this is Nicole. I'm getting back to you about the information that you requested on social media a few days ago about the IUL. That's the Index Universal Life Insurance Policy. This is the product that builds cash accumulation. You can be your own bank and helps you create a tax-free retirement savings. How are you doing today? And they usually say they're doing good. And then I verify all the information that I have on them. So you put your date of birth as whatever it is, you came from an email address of blank. And then if there's a goal on there, I'll verify their goal with them. You put your goal here as blank, right? Then I go right into the basic points of an IUL because I don't want anyone confused about what it is. So my script is very self-explanatory, very easy. I always say confused people don't buy. So the next part of my script is just saying, hey, there's 3 basic points to an IUL. You're going to have the death benefit. This is if suddenly you pass away. This is what would be transferred to your loved ones. That means they'll receive a check instead of a bill. The living benefit, so if you were to become critically ill, terminally ill, or disabled, you would have access to money while living. And then the cash accumulation. This part is compounding interest, which means the more you put into it and the longer you keep it in, the faster and more that cash accumulation grows. And it has tax-free growth, tax-free access, and then no market loss. So you can earn money, but don't have the risk of losing any money. Then I'll kind of go into just asking them quickly, which one's the most important to you so that I get an idea of how to design it. And then this last kind of part that I'll talk about is something that I just added into my script. And I have seen it help my agents and myself not get as many I need to think about it at the end. So I kind of just lay it all out there right at the beginning. So I just say, okay, perfect, Grady. I'm not like other people that you've talked to. I'm not a salesperson. I'm an underwriter for the state, which means I have access to 30 A+ rated carriers and take my job very seriously. My job is to help protect families as well as people's retirement. So just so we're on the same page, by the end of this call, we will be submitting an application customized to your specific goals. Does that make sense? And then, right then and there, like
goosebumps. I'm like, that was so, sorry, keep going, but that was so good.
Yeah, I know right then and there, then if they're serious or if I'm going to be wasting my time. And if they give me any hesitation, I ask like a couple more questions to see if it's something that they're serious about or not. And if not, I just say, hey, give me a call when this is more important to you, and I move on to the next.
Got it. So, what will they usually like? What's a bad response then? Like, what will someone say, and then what's a good response?
Yeah. So sometimes you get like, oh, I was just looking at information for this. I'm not really ready to do anything. And that's fine, right? So if they really want more information, I might go a little bit more in depth with it, but I'm not going to be doing an illustration and all the things because that's just a waste of my time and their time, really. I can be helping somebody else who is ready and serious about getting started. So.
Okay.
What was that?
And then a good response is?
Yeah, I say, hey, is this something that's still important to you? Or I actually say, I don't want to waste your time or mine. Is this something that's still important for you to put into place as soon as possible? If they still give me hesitation, I just say, hey, I do have back-to-back appointments to get on. So you're more than welcome to give me a call in the future when this becomes more important to you.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't really, I mean, especially with IULs, I've just seen like either they want it or they don't want it. So I don't really try and convince anyone to get it when it comes to IULs, because they're either serious about it or not. And there's really nothing you can do, especially with it being such a long-term thing, to move forward. So that's kind of how I go about it.
Amen. So you got them bought in, then you're going to go, how do you, a couple, like anything you do from a medical financial question that's kind of unique to you. And then anything you do in the app to build rapport. And then anything like, how are you getting the budget? Like those would be a couple, like 3 kind of bucket questions that I think everyone would enjoy hearing from you.
Yeah. So when I'm asking for medical, one thing I do say at the beginning when asking for medical is I just say, hey, the insurance carrier can and will see everything in your medical questions from the last 10 years to determine your eligibility. And I let them know it's basically me and you against the insurance company. So the more you disclose with me about your history, the better the chances are we can get you approved for something like this. I threw that in there very much so because I found a lot of people kind of weren't honest about it because they thought they would be disqualified for it. So when I added that in there, it showed them, hey, like we still can get you something, but you have to be honest. One thing I do say when I ask for height and weight, which usually they laugh really hard about, I always say, hey, how tall are you? And then how much do you weigh on a good day? And they're always like, oh, on a good day. Well, I'm like, okay, so they get a little kick out of that. And then when I'm going through like expenses and stuff, when I get to, so after I go through all the medical questions, I kind of figure out the why. So if the death benefit is the most important, I'm hitting on, them painting a picture of what it would look like if they didn't have something like this in place. If the cash value is super important, I ask them, what would your retirement look like if you didn't have something like this in place? And then I always ask them, especially if it's for retirement, if they're willing to sacrifice more now so that they can live a better life for retirement. And then as far as contribution amount, I always let them know most people will contribute into the plan anywhere from 10% ish or more of their monthly income. And then let them know for you, it would be so much, if at the beginning as well, when I'm getting their finances, I always ask them, how much do you have left over a month? So obviously if they're saving $500 a month, but their contribution amount for 10% would be $500 a month, I'm never going over more than 50% of what they are saving, putting into their savings account every month. And then I ask them, really what would be a very comfortable amount that you would be, comfortable contributing to this every month for a long period. And then they let me know that. As far as, when I get to the the application, I'm just really going through it with them. I ask them a couple different questions that they kind of get a kick out of it when I'm doing like the social. So whenever I'm asking for the social security number, I'm always asking, hey, next thing they're going to do is do a medical check on you. They just want to make sure you're not 5,000 pounds or attached to a hospital bed, anything crazy like that. Go ahead and verify your social with me. And they usually get a little kick out of that as well.
Got it. This is so good. Me and you against the insurance carrier is such an empowering line that they feel like they've got an advocate now versus they've got someone who is against them, right? I'm on your side. Like I work for them, but I work for you more because I want you to get covered. I want you to protect your family. Oh, you restored our camera.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Just you got a little bit frozen. Tiny bit. It'll work out. Close Spotify.
I don't have Spotify up. Weird.
Well, we can hear you.
I have Wi-Fi too, so.
We can hear you, and you don't have a funny face on. So I mean, we'll do.
Oh, that's perfect.
Tell it resets itself. Okay, so that is fantastic, right? It's me and you. So, all right, let's button this up, right? They get, we go through, we get it submitted, and then what are we saying to, are you coming on a different computer? Oh, maybe you are. All right, cool. Trying to switch you.
There we go.
Perfect.
All right, can you hear me?
Got the other one. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. You just have double computers ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so how are we closing it up? What are we saying to solidify the appointment? What are we saying to make sure they're not talking to anyone else? What are we saying to build ourselves up as their broker for life?
So at the end of the script, I'll kind of let them know what the process is going to be, right? So I'll let them know, I'll cement the sale saying, hey, I'm going to be your agent for life. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you're kind of stuck with me. So just look at me as a part of your family now. Save my number so that if you have any questions, need to make any changes, I'm your go-to girl. You know, I'm here to help you and your family with any life insurance needs that you guys have. And then I will actually send them like a little receipt when we get off the phone, just saying like, hey, this is Nicole, your insurance agent for life. This is the company we put the application in for. This is the coverage amount. This is the monthly payment, so on and so forth. And then kind of just keep in touch with them until they get their policy packet, and then let them know I do yearly reviews. And then I kind of get referrals from there. I always say free leads are the best leads. So going into, you know, do you have any friends or family that you think would benefit from something like this? Do you mind giving me their name and number so I can reach out to them? And then, of course, their beneficiary, right? If they're of age, you know, I'll reach out to them, or ask the person if it's okay if I reach out to them. And then reach out to them, just let them know I help their family member, whoever it is, and see if they have anything in place, and then try and get a referral sale as well.
I love it. Awesome. Well, Nicole, that blew my hair back. You know, that was fantastic. Holy cow. The detail, you can tell the time spent in the art of your craft, right? You have met with a lot of people. You've sold a lot of insurance. You've overcome objections. You've created your own scripts. You've created your own things. I can't wait for this YouTube video to come out for people to be able to digest it. It's going to be, your training video is about to go viral. So thank you for all the detail. I'm gonna pause and then pivot and reintroduce you. And now we're gonna jump into the fun stuff. So,
okay.
All right, if everyone's ready for fun stuff, just put an FS in the comments below. It's fun to say fun stuff. FS in the comments below. But all right. Hello, everybody. Grady Pulse, the American Agency. So excited to have Nicole Petrarca on with us. She has just in the past 4 months built her agency from 30,000 issue paid to over 200,000 utilizing TikTok. And she's going to now help us, teach us, and break down how she came up with the idea, how long she posted or didn't post till she went viral. And then she's going to give us a blueprint on what we can all do to copy her success. And we're also going to have some examples we're going to play here in a little bit of her viral TikToks, so you can see how, you know, respectfully, you didn't have like a graphic designer, and you didn't have a video crew, and you didn't even dance in any of them. So I don't even know how this works, but you know, I'm so excited to learn from you, and everybody here on the call is. So without further ado, everybody, welcome Nicole Petrarca.
Thank you so much for having me. I am really excited, especially to talk about TikTok. I'm like, this is fun.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so give us the backstory. Like, I mean, you're like probably a social media type user, like the majority of us. We do some scrolling, might post a picture, some stuff, some videos, some funny things. But then one day you're like, you know what? I could recruit on here. How did this all evolve? And then let's talk it through it, and then we can pull up any video at a time. We can run through all three, or however you want to do it. We're here to it's your show. Your show now. I'm just a viewer.
Okay, it's funny that you say, like, I knew nothing about TikTok or like social media at all. Before that video went viral, I probably had like 100 maybe followers on TikTok, and did not post very often, just every so often, little things here and there. When I had first I think I posted like 2, maybe 3 videos before I posted one that went viral. But you guys, it's actually the easiest thing ever. I copied that video that went viral from somebody else on TikTok. It's crazy. I think I was researching in TikTok, and I just researched like viral videos for insurance agents or something. And that was one that came up. She didn't do like the whole popcorn thing, but she had something else going on in the background. She posted her sales for the week. And then I just copied exactly the sound she used, the hashtags she used, the, wording that she used. I copied everything and then got lucky and it went viral. So it was not hard at all. And then once that one kind of hit, now I post a lot more consistently, and I've had quite a few go pretty viral, which is amazing. So
should we play that one? You want us to play the popcorn one? So
we'll play the popcorn one.
Okay.
It's really silly. I don't know how it went viral, but
we eat a lot of popcorn at the Polson house, so
I love popcorn, so it's fine.
All right, here it comes.
That was it. Simple.
Simple.
Very silly, but
it's got curiosity. You're watching it to see what happens, and you're engaged.
Yeah. That was the one that went viral. That was the one for everything. Marissa had asked in the chat how many interviews from that one video. It was insane how many. I couldn't even. I think I was like blocked from TikTok for a couple of days because I was getting so many messages. And it was crazy, but that video right there, that's what did it. So it's not hard. Also, you guys, I don't know anything about like cutting videos very well or like any sort of designing or editing my videos. I can't do any of that. So I just put a couple videos together on TikTok. It's super, super easy. I don't edit or anything, do filters. I don't know how to do any of that still. So it's very easy, even if you have no idea what you're doing.
So music, hashtags, and copy someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everyone, your assignment is to just if you've sold any insurance this week. I mean, that was a good week too. It was a fun week. It was 8,000-10,000 in the week. It's a good week. So if you don't sell a lot of insurance, start selling a lot of insurance. Then you can start making TikToks because you got to learn how to sell insurance first. Nicole knows what she's doing. Okay, so then keep going. What else did you do? What else is the plan? How did it keep evolving?
Yeah. So I just kept posting and kept posting and kept posting after that one went viral, and I just come up with random things.
Viral, just so people know what that means. Define how many views did it get?
3 million.
3 million. Yes. Yeah. Okay. And then how many followers do you have now, or what's it based? Followers or likes, or what's the metric to TikTok?
I think it's just how many videos you post. That's like the algorithm thing. The more you post, the more you get up on the algorithm. It's funny. I still don't know very much about TikTok. I just post the videos and reply to the messages. So you guys do not have to know much about it. I promise. But after I posted that one, I just was super, super consistent. And then that one kept going even more viral. And then all my other ones kept going viral. And I say viral, it's like you guys literally just have to copy and paste what somebody did, right? When I started hiring, and then some of my agents started copying that video with the sound and they have, some of them have 300,000, 500,000 views on theirs. So it's really easy. You just have to just do it. I didn't do it for the longest time because I was like, I don't want people to think a certain thing of me. This is embarrassing. So kind of going into that side of things, I was like so scared for the longest time to embarrass myself and put myself out there. And then once I actually started seeing it making a difference, I was like, I do not care what anybody else thinks. This is what's benefiting myself and my business and growing my business. So that's what I'm going to do. And I always say, if somebody is going to be talking bad about you or talking down to you about that or making fun of you or whatever you guys are scared about, don't be scared, because those people aren't really your friends. Anybody who is going to uplift you and say, they're proud of you for promoting your business and doing what's going to be best for your business, those are the people you should be surrounding yourself around anyways.
It's a great line, is no one doing better than you will ever will ever beat you up for what you're doing, never talk down to you for what you're doing. It's always people that aren't doing as well and judging and et cetera. I mean, I think too about like, in the past, 2030 business was predicated on your Rolodex, right? And then it became like your email list, and then it's your text list, and then now it's your social media following. And this is just business outreach in 2025. You're just sharing a message. It's positive message. There was nothing negative in there. And then you didn't even have a hook at the end. It wasn't even like reach out if you wanted to, which would have kept it from probably going viral as it did. You just kept it like just educational, which then people go, dude, look what this girl did. Look what this girl okay. So you do that, you keep posting, keep going, keep teaching. What else did you do? What else you figure out?
I have noticed that most of the TikToks that go viral are obviously talking about money. So those are the ones that are really like getting out there. And then the other ones that are really great are just educational ones where, my line for social I had posted and I think that I sent that one to you if I remember correctly. That one, had a bunch of views on it just because now I'm in like the insurance industry. So anybody looking up life insurance, anybody who's in the life insurance industry, I'm coming up on all of their feeds. No matter what, right? So now that I've used that hashtag enough, I'm coming up on those, whatever they're Googling as far as insurance goes. So that one with my social, how I ask for social, I should say, people loved that video. Any like educational anything is super beneficial as what I've seen as well.
Cool. We can play that one now. The one she's walking. There you go. Perfect.
The social. Are you a U.S. citizen? Yes. Perfect. So they're just going to do a medical check on you, making sure you're not 5,000 pounds or attached to a hospital bed. How they do that is with you verifying your social. So I'm ready for that when you are. They usually get a little laugh out of that, and I very rarely get a social objection.
See, you guys, I don't even do anything crazy. I'm on a walk, and I made a video. Like, I don't even, it's really not hard. It's crazy how easy it is. And you just have to keep posting until one of them goes viral. And then it's way easier after that. But consistency is definitely key when you're doing it. So again, the silliest videos, I don't even know, it's just like I'm doing stuff and telling them how I'm doing it, or just reading part of my script, or there's a couple of me like, going through medical questions, and anybody who's already in the insurance industry especially reaches out and they're like, wow, I wish I had mentorship like this with my current upline. And, so how do I get with you if they're at a different agency or whatever the case is, just from me posting, hey, this is what I do. And this is what I teach, the agents who come on with me to do. And that really, really gets them every time.
That's awesome. So
literally the easiest videos though, you guys, I cannot say it enough. Everyone thinks there's so much that goes into it and you have to do editing and all this stuff. I don't even know how to edit videos.
You got a whole New York media team that's back up in Manhattan and High Towers, making your videos for you, Okay, so what is the advice you're giving your new agents now? Like, are they starting with 1 a day, 1 a week, 10 a day? Like, what's your new agent boot camp plan to start to create videos and et cetera? Top 3, top 5, first 5 videos you're having them do.
Yeah, so I always have them copy that popcorn video right away after, they make their first week of sales, and post that. And again, a couple of those have gone viral, which is great. After that, I just suggest that they post at least 3 to 4 times a week to start until they get comfortable. And then ideally you want to be posting as much as possible. So now I'm posting 1-2 times a day. I sometimes skip a couple days, whatever, goes on. But the more that you guys post, and this is what I tell them as well, the more that they post, the more serious they're going to be about recruiting, because they're going to be getting, people reaching out to them a lot more often.
So you get flooded with hundreds of people wanting to talk to you. How did you manage it? Just always curious on how did you manage it? Or, how did you manage it? And then how are you getting them started so fast?
So as far as managing them goes, I just reply the same thing to every single message. It's just basically, hey, if you're interested in moving forward with my agency, go ahead and watch this overview video and then schedule an interview with me. Don't schedule an interview until you have watched the video in full. That's basically what the message says that I send to everybody. And then after we have an interview with them, I basically just let them know, hey, you know, you're going to be spending anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a week on leads. Our goal is to get you writing as quickly as possible, and we've actually done very well with that. Our goal is to get everyone writing their first sale within their first week, so that they can, you know, be plugged in and have that outcome of, hey, I just spent this money, but I got this much in return. And now they're more comfortable to keep spending that money because they see, you know, what can be in return from that. And then one other thing that I fully require, and I wasn't very strict on this before, but now that I've pivoted over to require it, it's helped a lot. So before I was kind of like, oh, I'm just going to hire anyone and everyone. You know, obviously that ended up being a waste of my time for a really long time, because not everybody has the mindset that you need to have when you're in this industry. So I required, you know, being on Zoom is a full blown requirement. I make it very clear to them that I will not help you if you are not plugging into Zoom, because the easiest way for me to help them make money quickly is by me being able to hear them. I always say, if I can't hear you, I can't help you. So I make sure that they know, you know, being on Zoom is a full-blown requirement. I now have all of my, you know, agents and everyone that I bring on send me a schedule that they're going to be committing to, and whatever that schedule looks like, cool. But that way it holds people more accountable. And I've gotten a lot of really good feedback and obviously good outcome from that as well.
That's awesome. Okay. And then, so they're in, they're going, and then now I mean, how soon are people starting their popcorn video, post 3-4 times a week as much as possible? Is it, hey, if you want to build a business, this is a great blueprint. You know, is that kind of the message?
100%. I always ask them right off the bat, like, are you looking to build an agency, or are you looking to be a personal producer? I always talk to everyone off the bat of how beneficial it is to build an agency, but I don't push it on anyone. So if they say, you know, I want to do both, then I'll let them know this is what you need to do first is, you know, go to my TikTok, look at my popcorn video, and do something along those lines. Use the same exact hashtags, use the same exact sound, post that, and then consistently post, you know, if you can, every single day after that, until you start getting one of those videos. If you keep posting, is bound to go viral, because now you're on the algorithm, and now you're, you know, people are seeing you and people are liking it. And especially if you talk about money, it's like game over.
Love it. I love it. So we have one more. Let's share that you sent to us, where you were just out for the day, and, you know, all of a sudden the client called. These are so fun.
Pen and paper whenever you are ready. Okay. So option 1, that one's going to cover $40,000 of your final expenses. That one's only going to be $220 a month. Option 2, that's going to cover $30,000. That one's going to be $153 a month. And then option 3, that's going to cover $20,000, and that one's only going to be $101 a month. Okay. Yeah. So if the insurance company came back and said, congratulations, John, you're approved, which one of these would you want to get approved for to leave behind to your daughter, Amber? Option 1. Okay. Perfect. So I'll go ahead and pull up the application. Go ahead and grab your driver's license. I'll get it all started for you.
Just
So silly. People love that one.
They love it, because that's the business. That's what we're doing. Taking control, you know, putting it in their face. Which would be the best option if you're approved, John, to protect your daughter, Amber? I mean, holy cow. Just great sales training, educational, entertaining, and money at the same time. No wonder it went viral. So, all right, final advice you've got for future TikTokers.
Don't be afraid to start it. If you guys are serious about building your business, and people even do it for, like, you know, not even only recruiting, right? But I have another video that went viral for IULs. So even for free leads, right? You just have to take the first step, and that is just posting your first video, and just copy. Like, it's so easy. Just literally copy somebody who went viral and do exactly what they did. doesn't have to necessarily be the video, but the hashtags and everything like that, and just wait a little bit, and it will pay off for sure.
That's awesome. Well, Nicole, you are absolutely on a rocket ship that you have fueled yourself, which is pretty cool, and I couldn't be more excited to see what you do now here into the future. I know Marissa's an absolutely incredible leader and mentor and friend to you, and it's so great to see you guys winning together. But what you've created now completely on your own, it's so awesome. And I'm just excited for that, excited for you, the agents you're going to help, the new method that we can build this business of utilizing social media and being creative. I was messing around with AI the other day, and I typed something in, and all of a sudden I put escape the rat race. And it was a businessman running with human-sized rats behind him. And I was like, what is going on? This is so that touched with TikTok and whatever the future holds for marketing. The business that doesn't advertise, the business doesn't market, is the business that doesn't grow. And this is a new creative way. And you're a pioneer in our company for figuring it out. And thank you for sharing and being so vulnerable and candid at the same time to help us all get better. So everybody put a TT for TikTok in the chat below. Show Nicole, the TikTok queen, some love. And thank you so much. I'm cheering you on. I'm so excited to see how big you build it now and how many people you help along the way. So have an amazing day.
Thank you so much, Grady, for having me on here today as well.
Thank you. All right, everybody. That was, you got a blueprint. You got a phenomenal IUL sales training. I can't, bringing these great guests on. We're here every single week, Thursday at noon. Come join us. But Nicole is an absolute treat and a treasure, and she's going to absolutely kill it. So everybody have an amazing day. We'll see you next week. Thank you for joining me. Bye for now.